ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam. We are studying from Canto 7, Chapter 1, from text 34 onwards. So, from text 34 up to the end of the chapter, this is the start or the seed of the Nrishinga Leela, the fall of Jaya and Vijay, the curse of the four Kumaras to the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, the question of Yudhishthir Maharaj on this reversal, and Narad Muni's narration. So that is this section. So what we will do is we will try to read that section completely today. I will read from text 34 up to the end of the chapter, which is I think about 48. So around 14, 15 verses now. All of us can follow through, and then we will have a discussion on this section. So in the interest of time, I'll just read the verse for 34. For rest, all of them, I'll just read the translation. Text 34, Canto 7, Chapter 1, Srimad Bhagavatam. Shri Yudhishthira Uvacha Kidrisha Kasya Vashapo Hari Dasa Bhimarshana Ashraddheya Iva Bhati Harer Ekantinam Bhava. Yudhishthira Uvacha. Yudhishthira Maharaj continues to ask to Narada Muni, Kidrisha Kasya Vashapa. So just to backtrack a bit, we are at the Rajasuya Sabha, and Shishupal just got delivered, he just got liberated. He was liberated by Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra, after which he entered into Krishna's personality and went back home, back to Godhead. So this was a matter of great astonishment as to how this happened. So Yudhishthir Maharaj had this question that why is it that the Lord is always taking sides with the Devatas and killing the demons or the Daityas? And even in this case, he's killing Shishupal. The answer given is the Lord is not biased. He is Samoham Sarvabhuteshu. We mentioned this previously also, that how Krishna is equipoised. Just like the cloud doesn't take sides, gives rain everywhere, the sun doesn't take sides, gives sunshine, or the moon doesn't take sides, gives moonshine everywhere. Bhumi Devi supports everyone. So when these are just the external energy of the Lord, and that's completely equal to everyone, then what to speak of Bhagavan, who's the cause of everything? He's beyond the three gunas, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna. Krishna wants Arjuna also, and ultimately all of us through Arjuna, to become free and go beyond the dualities of this world, of taking sides, etc. Also, it is described that Rajasas Tamasaschaye Matta Eveti Tan Vidhi Natvaham Teshu Temai. In the seventh chapter, it is described that the three gunas of Yechaiva Satvika Bhava, Rajasas Tamasaschaye, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, they take shelter of Krishna. Krishna doesn't take shelter of them, right? Just because Krishna appears in this world of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas doesn't mean he's under them. The example Srila Prabhupada would give is that if a jailer enters into the jail or a prison house, that doesn't mean he becomes a prisoner himself just because he has entered it. The rules of the government, which are applicable on a prisoner, are not applicable on a jailer just because he has entered a prison house. Similarly, अजोपि सन् अव्ययात्मा भूतानाम ईश्वरोपि सन् प्रकृतिं स्वाम अधिष्ठाय संभवामि atma Krishna enters this world by his own will. Ramachandra enters this world by his own will, by his own prakriti. Yogamaya samamrita mudhoyam nabijanati. Krishna comes, Bhagavan api taratri sharadotpulla mallika bhiksharantum manaschakra yogamaya. Again, the word yogamaya has been used. Krishna comes with his own energy. When the king enters a certain province, he is entering by his own desire, not by force. So we enter this world by karma. Karmana daiva netrena. We are pushed into the mother's womb by our karma. But when Krishna comes in this world, he doesn't come like that. Ajo pisan avyayatma. He is aja. Aja means न जन्म, जिनका जन्म ना हो वैसे, फिर भी वो कृपा करके जन्म लेते हैं. Krishna takes birth, enters into Devaki and Vasudev, or enters into Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba, and becomes manifest in this world for Kalyanartham. Mad bhaktanam vinodartham karomi vividha kriya. Krishna performs different activities by appearing in this world only for our benefit. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham deham astita. Bhajate tadrishi krida yashrutva tatparo bhavet. Krishna comes in this world and performs human-like pastimes so that hearing, remembering, praying to that personality, tatparo bhavet, we can attain him. So it's the jailer, is the creator who comes into this jail just to free the prisoner, not to become bound himself. Hmm? So this question has been asked how Bhagwan, who's beyond everything, is taking sides. So the answer to that is he's not taking sides. It is the karma of different living beings which is causing the result. And we mentioned this example how if a neem seed gives a neem leaf or a mango seed gives a mango fruit, you can't blame the cloud for it. You can blame the cloud. Depending on the seed that you have, the cloud is only giving rain, which is manifesting that result. So Krishna is like the rain. He is only manifesting the result, the fruit of the seed of karma that we have got from past lives. So then the question is, if Krishna is not taking sides and he's equal to everyone, then every demon should have the same destination and every devata should have the same destination. And sometimes Krishna should take sides with the devatas and sometimes he should take sides with the asuras, but that's also not seen. You see that here Shishupal is killed and he enters into Krishna's in front of everyone. Krishna is so rare to attain. Katham Vishnu Padam Proktam. How is it to attain Vishnu's abode? Durlabham ati durlabham. It is very rare. Muktanam api siddhanam narayana parayana. In the Bhagavatam, in the 6th chapter. Out of millions and millions of jivas, one becomes a Krishna Bhakta. And out of hundreds and hundreds who become Krishna Bhakta, one goes back home, back to God. Very rare, right? Bahunam janmanamante. Very rare. So how is it that the Shishupal entered Vaikuntha after criticizing Krishna so much? To which the answer given is because of his abhinivesh, because of his absorption. And in any mood, one gets absorbed with Krishna, whether it's inimically, with whether it's through envy. And in that context, we had verses like kama, dveshad, bhayat, snehat, ityadi, yatha bhakti shware manaha. Whether it is through anger or whether it is through envy, whether it is out of fear, Yena kena. Tasmat kena pyupayena mana Krishna niveshayat. Somehow or the other, if the mind is thinking of Krishna, the process of thinking of Krishna purifies the person. So Shishupal was constantly remembering Krishna in envy. So then the question could be, okay, what caused that absorption? If you're backtracking it, okay, he got liberated because of his absorption. Then the point is, what caused that absorption? What made Shishupal remember Krishna without deviation? The answer is Purva Janma Samskar. Purva Janma Samskar. Because in past life, this is a fact that Jaya and Vijaya were cursed and they became Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, then Ravana, Kumbhakarna, then Shishupal, Dantavakra, and then they went back home, back to Godhead. What you practice is what you carry on just by the laws of inertia. Even when you're moving in a train and you suddenly jump off a running train, get onto the station or the platform, you see that you still move with the laws of motion. You're still moving in that same momentum, which means the speed at which you have been, even if there's a halt, you still continue to move by that speed. That's why you see sometimes in India when someone gets off a train or gets off a bus, they still run for some time. Have you seen that? They don't just come to a standstill because they will fall. So if they get out of a moving bus, they run for some time to just to keep the momentum going. What does that teach us? That teaches us that the thought process that we have been having for lifetimes is the thought process that continues even when there's a stop, which means there's a death, or there's death to the body and the soul transmigrates. Still that same bhav will continue in the next birth. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. The same thing carries. Yadrishi bhavana yasya siddhir bhavati tadrishi. Depending on the bhav that we attain, whichever bhav that may be, not bhav avastha, but yam yam vapi smaran bhavam, whatever bhav at the time of death. So because Jai and Vijay have been serving Vishnu, dasoham iti mamatva kshamasva madhusudana, in the mood of being a servant. Therefore, even when they were cursed, they were cursed to be asuras. But still, that absorption, that attachment in Narayana was not lost. So, this teaches us what we have today, we can have better in our next life if we practice and take advantage of that today. What we have been practicing in our past life is what we have attained today. Whether it is the association of devotees, whether it is the chance to hear Krishna Katha, whether it is the chance to um, chant the holy name, etc. But now, this life, if you don't take advantage of it, then next life is not going to be as good as this life. It's just a cyclic reaction. But on the other hand, if you do more bhajan this life compared to what we did last life, then next life is going to be better than what it is today. Yeah. So, jaisi karni vaisi bharni. As you sow, so shall you reap. We will attain as per the hard work that we put in. Therefore, yatantascha vrata. Krishna says in the Gita, work hard, work hard. So then the natural question is, okay, Jaya and Vijay were cursed and therefore they became demons. And because they finished their tenure, now they've gone back. So Yudhishthir Maharaj is now confused, because now this brings us to another juncture. Okay, Shishupal's questions have been answered, but now this brings us to another point. We always know that once you go back home, back to Godhead, you can fall from there. Yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramamama. Krishna says that in the Gita once. Because imagine if you go there and you can fall again and again. You go back home, back to Godhead, again you can fall, and then again you go, again you can fall. Then why should I even go there? Why should I go there? I may as well be here, because anyway, after going there, if I have to come here, I may as well be here. Right? Srila Jiva Goswami Pad calls Vaikuntha as Achyuta Padam. Achyuta Padam means the abode of Achyuta. Achyuta is Krishna. But another meaning of Achyuta Padam is that abode from where you can't fall. Yadgatva na nivartante. Once we attain that abode, you can fall back, can come back. So Yudhishthir Maharaj is perplexed. How did this fall take place from Vaikuntha? It's astonishing, because you generally don't hear associates falling. You read through Shastra, you don't hear Ramchandra's associates fell from Ayodhya, or Nitya Ayodhya, or Krishna's associates fell from Goloka Vrindavan. You don't see in the Haridasas, the servants of Hari, because they have attained Salokya Mukti. So now from there, how after performing bhajan, after performing bhakti, after anukulya sa sankalpa, pratikulya se varjanam, crying and weeping to attain the Lord, now again you fall from there. Seems little perplexing for us and for Yudhishthir Maharaj. And let's say that happened. Jaya and Vijay, who are doorkeepers of Narayana, fell. Then the next question would be, who is so powerful that he could cause that to happen? One is Jai Vijay can't fall. Second, let's say they can't fall and they still fell. Then who is that personality, or what is that circumstance which caused it? And for what mistake? Because it is certainly a fall from that world where there is no envy, no kam, no krodh, no lobh, nothing, and you fall into Trigunatmika Maya. You fall into the womb of a mother here where Kama, Krodha, Lobha, and Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik, earthquakes and tsunamis and hurricanes and hunger and thirst and sleep and whatnot. So these are questions in Yudhishthir Maharaj's mind. And therefore in 34 he says, Kidrishaha. How come? What effected this? And Kasya Vashapa. And whose curse was it? Hari Dasa Abhimarshanaha, that could touch the servants of Hari, that could touch the servants of Narayana. Narayana's position is the highest in this world. Krishna's position is the topmost. And Mahavishnu, Narayana, his personal assistants, personal protectors, personal bodyguards, you can say, Jaya and Vijay. They are coming into this world. Can you imagine what's happening to everyone in Vaikuntha? They are seeing Vishnu's Parshads come from that world into this world. Everyone would be weeping and crying. How can this reversal take place? Yudhishthir Maharaj says, Ashraddheya. It's Eva Abhati. He doesn't say, Ashraddheya, I don't believe you. He says, Ashraddheya Eva Abhati. It sounds and looks almost unbelievable. Is this even possible? Because Narad Muni has the style of speaking allegorical stories. Narad Muni, depending on who's asking a question, Narad Muni has different kinds of preaching. Sometimes Narad Muni can give direct instruction, and sometimes Narad Muni just curses. Or sometimes while speaking to Prachina Barhishad, he brings in a fictitious, imaginative, transcendental allegory of Puranjan and Puranjani and Navadvarapuram ityadi ityadi. So you can read all that in the fourth canto. Narad Muni can preach and empower and give diksha to great personalities like Valmiki Muni, who's Adi Kavi. 24,000 verses on Ramayana were manifested by Valmiki Muni, and his guru, Diksha Guru, is Narad Muni. Bhagwan Vyasadev, who is incarnation of Krishna himself, his guru is Narad Muni. Narad Muni is the guru for so many wonderful personalities, including Manigriv, Nalakuber, the sons of Kuber, including Mrigari. Narad Muni is always preaching. Narad Muni goes and preaches to the 10,000 sons of Daksha Prajapati, and they all went into the forest to become, well, to perform tapasya so that later they can become grihasthas and be self-controlled and bring in so much power to the ashram. But Narad Muni went and told them, there is so much pleasure and joy in sitting in the forest, being tapasvis. Why do you want to go back to Grihastha ashram, get married and get entangled? And they said, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Narad Muni said, look at me. Do you think I am sad? You can travel and preach. And they said, yes, this makes perfect sense. And this happened multiple times. Daksha was furious. He cursed Narad Muni that may you not stay in one place for a long time, because if you stay in one place, you will start a preaching program there. So may you not stay in one place, I curse you. And Narad Muni was even more related. He said, anyway, I'm not interested in staying in one place. I just want to travel. He's an intra and intercosmic traveler. He doesn't need visa or immigration anywhere. Border security, nothing. Narad Muni just no passport, no ticket. He just has a veena and he's singing the names of Radha Raman, and he's traveling and preaching, speaking about Krishna everywhere. So Narad Muni, depending on the pupil, he has different styles of preaching. So when he's speaking to Yudhishthir Maharaj says, Ashraddheya iva bhati. It almost sounds unimaginable. Can you tell me how Jaya and Vijay can fall? Because Hare he ekanti nam bhava. Ekanti nam, they are one. It is a fact that if someone chants the name once, then Hari protects that person, right? This person has chanted my name. This person has heard my name. Prabhupada writes in the translation that Krishna thinks this person has chanted my name, therefore I must give him full protection. And this comes from Srila Jiva Goswami's comment. Jiva Goswami Pad, he writes in the commentary that when someone chants the holy name of the Lord, द लॉर्ड्स अट्रैक्शन, भगवान का चित्त आकृष्ट होता है, भगवान, कृष्ण's हार्ट इज अट्रैक्टेड टुवर्ड्स द चैंटर, एंड कृष्ण फील्स this person belongs to me. If I don't protect him, who will? So this power is there to chanting the holy name. Even if we are chanting inattentively, the Lord is always hearing attentively. Krishna never hears inattentive chanting. We are hearing inattentive, we are chanting inattentive. But even if it is Nama Parad, Krishna is hearing attentively. And that's all that matters. Then His mercy will come, and then we'll have more taste in chanting. And the more we chant, with affection, of course, not in a distracted way, because api pramadaha, it is important to be attentive also while chanting. But even if one is chanting, let's say without attention, the Lord is still hearing. ऐसा नहीं है कि Krishna will hear only when you chant with love. Of course, when we chant with affection, that's when prema bhakti will rise in the heart. But till then, bhukti and mukti, material desires and liberation, things will manifest. But the point is, that also doesn't go a waste. That also doesn't go wasted. We just say Krishna, Sanketyam or Parihasyam Stobam Helanam Evava. Even that Krishna is listening very attentively. So Srila Jiva Goswami Pad has said this in Bhakti Sandarbha, which Srila Prabhupada also writes in the translation to the ninth canto Bhagavatam, that when someone calls out to the Lord, even if half-heartedly, the Lord is thinking that this person belongs to me and I must give him full protection. So if that is the nature of Krishna's compassion, then Harehe Ekantinam, Jaya and Vijaya are exclusive, Ananya Cheta, Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityashaha, Tasyaham Sulava Partha. After attaining, how did they get separated? Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Yejana Paryupasate Tesham Nitya Viyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Krishna says, I take on the load of the burden of love, of maintaining and protecting them. Ekantino yasya na kanchanartham vanchanti ye vai bhagavat prapanna atyadbhutam tacharitam sumangalam gayanta ananda samudramagna. Gajendra. Those who are ekantina, those who are one pointed, yes, say na kanchanartham. They don't desire anything. Vanchanti ye vai bhagavat prapanna. They are only desiring to be at the lotus feet of the Lord. Ati adbhutam tat charitam sumangalam gayant ananda samudramagna. Pure devotees are only absorbed in singing the glories of the Lord. So such Jai and Vijay, who are Hare Ekantinam, Bhavaha, how did they take birth in this world? It is bewildering. So, Srila Prabhupada's translation and purport. Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired, what kind of great curse could affect even liberated Vishnu Bhaktas, and what sort of persons could curse even the Lord's associates? For unflinching devotees of the Lord to fall again to this material world is impossible. I cannot believe this. Prabhupada's purport. In Bhagavad Gita 8:16, the Lord clearly says, Mam upetya tu kauntaya punarjanmana vidyate. One who is purified of material contamination and returns back home, back to Godhead, does not return to this material world. Elsewhere in the Gita 4:9, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjun. Maharaj Yudhishthir therefore was surprised at a pure devotee, that a pure devotee could return to this material world. This is certainly a very important question. So, so now what I will do is I will just continue to read the translation, and then I'll finish up to the end of the chapter and then start commenting after that. So from 35 onwards, I'm reading the translation till the end of the chapter because it starts the pastime of Jaya and Vijaya and the four Kumaras. The bodies of the inhabitants of Vaikuntha are completely spiritual, having nothing to do with the material body, senses, or life air. Therefore, kindly explain how associates of the personality of Godhead were cursed to descend in material bodies like ordinary persons. It is a fact that those who are eternal associates, they have Chinmay Sharir. They have transcendental bodies. They don't have bodies like us. Our body has Sthula and Sukshma Sharir. We have gross and subtle bodies. We have the gross body in the form of bone and flesh and blood and mucus and all of these things. And then we have the subtle body in the form of mind, intelligence, and ego, false ego. But the Nitya Muktas, the eternal associates, or those who get associates, even sadhana siddhas or kripa siddhas, they don't have material bodies like us. Because if you have a material body, then you need to take birth and then you to give it up at some point with death. But in that world, there is no birth and there is no death. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam is for this world and not that world. Nobody takes birth in the spiritual world. Nobody dies in the spiritual world. You'll not see anybody have any diseases or old age. Sounds like quite a wonderful advertising marketing statement for us to go back home back to God. It's almost like a bait thrown into the water pond for all the fishes to catch, so that, yeah, certainly that is true. Our purpose to go back home back to God externally should be so that we don't suffer in this material world, and internally it should be to serve our master eternally. That should be the main intention. I want to go there not because I want to be free from suffering, that's a byproduct, but the main reason I want to go, we should aim to go back home back to God, is to serve the Lord, is to see the Lord, to be next to our Ishta Radha and Krishna in the Gaudiya Sampradaya. For some, it may be Sitaram. For some, it may be Lakshmi Narayana or Lakshmi Nrsimha. So be it. In the Gaudiya Sampradaya, it is Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugala Kishore Jivane Morane Gati Are Nahi More. Nobody else. So this should be our desire to go back home, back to God. And all the eternal associates of Radha and Krishna, including Radha and Krishna, they have Chinmaya, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavita Bhi. Ananda is Ladini Shakti, Radharani, and Chinmaya, Chit, is Krishna. So in Radha and Krishna's Leela, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa, it is the Prema Rasa of the meeting of Radha and Krishna. And Pratibhavitabhi Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhi. And all the different manifestations of the Sakhis, they are only Nijarupa Kala. They are only manifestations of Radha and Krishna's qualities. This has been explained by Jiva Goswami Pad in his commentary to Brahma Samhita, that Radha and Krishna are the root and their expansions are the Sakhis. Kaya Vyuha, expanding from Radharani's body, expanding from Krishna's body, are the different associates in Goloka Vrindavan. So they are like Radha and Krishna, completely transcendental. Their mind is completely pure, only thinking imbued and dipped with selfless love. Radha and Krishna and the Sakhis and the associates like Mother Yashoda and Subal, Sridham, Krishna's friends. In fact, even the trees, even the bumblebees, even the butterflies of Braj, of Vaikuntha, they're completely selfless. They have no tinge, they have no dirt, no contaminated pollutant in their consciousness. Absolutely nothing. This is why in the Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami, while describing the water ponds of Braj, he says they are like the minds of Krishna's associates. They are like the minds of Krishna's associates. Why? Because the water ponds in Braj are completely crystal clear. So the minds are also crystal clear. At the same time, the water ponds are reflective. You can see what's inside. The water seems like a mirror surface. You can see yourself, but at the same time, you can also see what's inside. And that's the mind of a sadhu, because when you meet him, you can see what's in his heart and you can also know what's in your heart. When you meet a proper sadhu, he will in his association, you can know his thoughts. You can see inside the pond of his heart. At the same time, you can see that we can see the dirt that's there in our heart. Also, another thing is when you look into a clean pond, there is absolutely no stink in that water. There's absolutely no salt in that water. That water is sweet. That means the heart, the mind of a sadhu is sweet with bhakti rasa. And there are lotus flowers in that water pond in the form of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. Those are the fragrant lotuses in the mind of a sadhu. So therefore, Shukdev Goswami says the ponds of Braj, they are like the minds of the eternal associates. Very beautiful. So because in spiritual world, everyone is transcendental. There is no lobha, but there is lobha. There is no material greed, but there is spiritual greed on how I can serve Krishna even more. At the same time, there is anger. There's transcendental anger. There's transcendental competition, envy. That group is serving Krishna, I will serve even more. So it's not that there is no envy in the spiritual world or competition, there is transcendental competition. Prabhupada used to use that in the book distribution spirit. That if they are distributing so much, you should distribute even more, in the sense that I want to serve Krishna even more. But there is no sense of ahamta and mamata, that I am so great or I want to do this independent of Krishna. That doesn't exist. So going from that to be born as Ravana and Kumbhakarna, that seems like a big dip, is what Yudhishthir Maharaj is asking. 36. The great saint Narada said, once upon a time when the four sons of Lord Brahma, named Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumar, were wandering throughout the three worlds, they came by chance, Yadrichaya. This word is oftentimes used in Bhagavatam, Yadrichaya. Yadrichaya means by the will of the Lord, by the will of providence. Akasmat. Suddenly, this happened. So the four Kumaras, they came to Vaikuntha, older than most other sons of Brahma. They always look like 5 or 6 years old. That'll come in the next verse. Although these four great sages were older than Brahma's other sons like Marichi, they appeared like small naked children, only 5 or 6 years old. When Jaya and Vijay saw them trying to enter Vaikuntha, Lok, these two gatekeepers, thinking them ordinary children, forbade them to enter. Thus, checked by the doorkeepers, Jai and Vijay, Sanandana, and other great sages very angrily cursed them. You two foolish doorkeepers, they said, being agitated by the material qualities of passion and ignorance, you are unfit to live at the shelter of Madhudvisha. Who's Madhudvisha? Krishna. Shelter of Madhudvisha's lotus feet, which are free from such modes. It would be better for you to go immediately to the material world and take your birth in the family of most sinful asuras. That's a curse already pronounced by the four Kumaras. Actually, this is described in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And there it is described, as soon as the curse took place, the curse was pronounced, Vishnu comes out and he tells the four Kumaras that I am ready to trade off two of my arms. Please forgive my two associates. Out of my four arms, I am ready to cut off and give you two. Because Jaya and Vijaya are like my two arms. If they have, Vishnu tells the four Kumaras, if they have made mistakes, I am ready to trade off by lob off two of my arms and give it to you. Can you imagine the master who says, I am ready to cut off my two arms and give it to you? Please forgive my servants. Yes. So the four Kumaras curse Jaya and Vijay. Cursing seems to be quite a commonly found phenomena in the pages of the Bhagavatam. And it's interesting to study the different curses in the Bhagavatam. Like, for example, starting with Parikshit Maharaj, he was cursed by Shringi, the son of Shami Krishi, that you will die in 7 days. You will be bitten by a snake bird called Takshak. And we know the story of how Parikshit Maharaj actually put the cold dead snake around the neck of Shami Krishi, who was in meditation, and Shami Krishi did not respond because he was in complete one-pointed samadhi. But when his son Shringi heard of this, Shringi got very angry and he touched holy water and he cursed Parikshit Maharaj that how dare you insult my father with a snake around his neck, dead snake around somebody's neck. So I curse you, a snake bird will come and kill you in 7 days. And Parikshit Maharaj could have counter cursed Shringi because Parikshit Maharaj saw Vishnu in the womb. Vishnu Ratena Samprishto Bhagavan Badarayini. It is described that Parikshit Maharaj has a name called Vishnu Rata. Vishnu Rata means he who's protected by Vishnu. So in the 10th canto, 80th chapter, it is described Vishnu Ratena Samprishta, Who asked the question in the Bhagavatam? The one. So we are studying Bhagavatam so that we have darshan of Krishna. And the one who had darshan of Krishna and was protected by Krishna in the womb, he's studying Srimad Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is not simply a ladder to climb to have the fruit of darshan. Even those who are relishing that fruit of having darshan of Bhagavan, they are also on the ladder of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is not just the sadhana, it is also the sadhya. It is not just the journey, it is also the destination. Those who have darshan of Krishna, they also study Bhagavatam. So Vishnu Ratena Samprashta. Who asks the question in the Bhagavatam? Parikshit Maharaj, who was cursed and who was, while in the womb, he was protected from Ashwathama's Brahmastra, in the womb of Uttara. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate. Nanyam Twad Abhayam Pashya Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. Krishna protected Parikshit in the womb. So is Vishnu Ratha. And who's answering these questions? Bhagavan Badarayani, the son of Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is called Badarayana. भगवान व्यासदेव इज कॉल्ड बदरायण. बदर वृक्ष होता है, फल होते हैं, दे आर अ स्पेसिफिक फ्रूट, जिसको बेर फल बोलते हैं, उसको बदर कहा जाता है संस्कृत में. Traditionally, that used to be found only deep into the forest. Now, because of deforestation, you cut everything, so those fruits are coming out. But traditionally, it was found only deep into the forest, the badara fruit. And Bhagwan Vyasadev was called Badarayana because he was someone who was living deep into the forest, living under those Badar Vrikshas, praying, performing tapasya, so that may I have a son who is capable enough to carry the current of Srimad Bhagavatam from one generation to another. So Bhagwan Vyasadev, deep into the forest, with austerity, with prayers, received a son. Therefore, Shukdev Goswami is called Badarayani. So this pair of son of Vyas, which means son of Bhagwan, Krishna, and protected by Krishna, this pair of Shukadev Parikshit Maharaj is amazing. It's a blast of Srimad Bhagavatam ecstasy, this meeting. So the point is, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, starting with Parikshit Maharaj, you can see lot of curses. Whether it is Parikshit Maharaj in the first canto being cursed, and he could have counter-cursed Shringi because he was protected by Bhagwan himself, and he was the king of the whole world. So he could have done something. But he tolerated it. He kept quiet, took on that curse as a way to make more spiritual advancement. Because that curse came in his life for 7 days, he just took shelter on the banks of Ganga, or Srila Jiva Goswami says Yamuna, and just heard Srimad Bhagavatam. So amazing. Another curse you can see in the third canto, which is also quoted in the seventh canto, is the curse of Jaya and Vijay. They could have counter cursed, they could have did something, but they didn't. They took on the curse, and you see, because they humbly took it, and Parikshit Maharaj humbly took it, the Lord was on his side. Krishna's Bhagavatam appeared first to Parikshit. Krishna in the 4 incarnations came for his 2 associates in 3 lives. So it's 2, 3, 4. 2 associates get cursed for 3 lives, and the Lord comes 4 times. Right? As Varaha, as Narasimha, as Ramachandra, as Krishna Chandra. Only out of love for his jivas. Only as out of love for his dasasya kim nakshamaha, for his own servants. So this is a fact that even if we go through reversal in life, if we keep integrity, if we do the right thing, even if it is very difficult to do, Krishna is on our side. And you can find that again with Narad Muni being cursed by Daksha. Again, he took it as a way by which he can make even more spiritual impact in this world by traveling and preaching. None of those who were cursed sat down morose that, oh, I got cursed. They moved on. And in fact, it was like a launching pad. It was almost like a springboard. The curse came in and they made even more spiritual advancement. They made even more spiritual contribution after that. Another example you can see is Chitraketu Maharaj. He was cursed by Mother Parvati. And he didn't justify, he didn't do any of that. He became Vritrasur And you can see in all of these cases, whether it is Jai Vijay, whether it is Parikshit Maharaj, whether it is Chitraketu Maharaj, whether it is Narada Muni, you can see those who were Krishna conscious, they never lost their bhakti, although they were cursed. Circumstance changed, but their consciousness was not affected. You see, Chitraketu Maharaj was going back home, back to Godhead. When he was cursed and he became Vritrasur, he was born in a demoniac family or asuras, but his attachment to the Lord remained. Therefore, he was able to say, Aham Harer Tava Padaikam Mulam Ityadi in the 11th chapter of the 6th canto. Which means, even if there are reversals in our life, if we try to do the best thing that we can in that situation by remembering Krishna, bhakti will only rise, bhakti will not fall. If there is aparad, bhakti will fall. Bhakti will, when we say bhakti will fall in our life, that doesn't mean bhakti will literally fall. It means there'll be a reduction. There'll be a reduction in the intensity of devotion. One will lose taste. But if taste is not lost, offense is not counted. Simple. Jaya and Vijay, you see, although they went through demoniac families, their absorption in Hari was not taken away. They continued. Ravana could not stop thinking of Ramachandra. Shishupal could not stop talking about Krishna Chandra. And Hiranyakashipu could not stop thinking about Vishnu. So you saw that continuously, continuously, in every moment, they were attached to Sri Hari. Although they were playing their dramatic part as a demon, but their absorption continued. Vritrasur's absorption continued. Parikshit Maharaj's absorption continued. Jayan Vijay's absorption continued. And you can see so many such cases. You can see so many such cases. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, according to Sri Chaitanya Charit Mahakavya of Murari Gupta, he was cursed by the Brahmana who was not allowed into Srivasangan. He was cursed that may you lose all your spiritual material attachments. May you lose all your material attachments. May you find no joy in this world. And Mahaprabhu was jumping in joy. He was like, Hari bol, this is it's like having a box full of mangoes, but on the outside there is just a you know, you just write a little note on the top that inside there is neem leaves. But you actually open this nice tasty mangoes. That's how these courses were. Externally they were looking like neem leaves, but inside they were ripe juicy mangoes. They were only bringing in the best. And you see, Mahaprabhu took on that curse on its way. Not that the curse had any effect on Mahaprabhu. It was his desire to renounce this world. But anyway, he engaged the Brahmana also in the pursuit of his pastimes. So this is a fact. Tiraskrita vipralabdha shapta kshipta hata api nasya tat pratikurvanti tad bhakta prabhavopihi. That even if there are people who hurl abuses at us, we continue, we tolerate, and we move on. We remember Krishna and we perform more bhakti, and circumstances will change, but you continue to march. While Jaya and Vijay, continuing from text 39, while Jaya and Vijay, thus cursed by the sages, were falling to the material world, they were addressed as follows by the same sages who were very kind to them. O doorkeepers, after 3 births, you will be able to return to your positions in Vaikuntha, for then the duration of the curse will have ended. When Mother Parvati cursed Chitraketu Maharaj with folded palms, he accepted it. This is described in the Bhagavatam. He did not justify, he did not retaliate, he did not fight. He folded his palms and he said, Oh, mother, if you feel that that is the best for me to go to the demoniac Rakshasa family, so be it. In that, there may be the best well wishing goodwill for me. I have the best spiritual future in that curse. So be it. And Lord Shiva says, Narayana parasarve na kutaschana bibhyati. Swargapavarga narakeshwa pitulyartha darshanam. That those who are Narayana parasarve, those who are Narayana parayana, those who are surrendered to Krishna, Na kutaschana bibhyati. They don't fear anything. Whether it is in heaven or in Vaikuntha or in this world or in hell, api tulyartha darshanam. They take it equally. Wherever they are able to remember Hari, that is Vaikuntha. Wherever there is forgetfulness of Hari, that is hell. So they can live in hell and remember Hari and create Vaikuntha there. So they don't fear anything. Srila Prabhupada even said that I am ready to go to hell to preach. 40. The two associates of the Lord Jaya and Vijaya later descended to the material world, taking birth as the two sons of Diti. Hiranyakashipu being the older and Hiranyaksha being the younger. They were very much respected by the Daityas and the Danavas. Appearing as Narasimhadev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Hari killed Hiranyakashipu. When the Lord delivered the planet Earth, which had fallen into the Garbhodaka ocean, Hiranyaksha tried to hinder him. And then the Lord, as Varaha, killed Hiranyaksha. So this shows the mercy of Narayana. He's coming down so many times. Did Narasimhadev or Varahadev come only for destroying demons? The answer is no. Paritranaya sadhunam. They came to protect the devotees. In case of the Hiranyaksha pastime, it's not to kill Hiranyaksha, but to save Mother Earth. In the Hiranyakashipu pastime, it is not to kill Hiranyakashipu, but to protect Prahlad. But if you see from the angle of today's discussion, even Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha are devotees. Therefore, Narasimha and Varahadev, respectively, they did not come down um, just to protect Prahlad Maharaj or Mother Earth in that same order. They came for everyone. They came for Jaya and Vijay, who are Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, and they came for Prahlad Maharaj, and they came for Mother Earth, and ultimately for everyone. Prapanche nishprapanchopi vidambhayasi bhutale prapanna janatananda sandoham pratitum prabho. The Lord comes in this world and performs such pastimes so that we have so many leelas to talk about. We have so many things to hear about. We have so many details to remember. And by that, we become purified. Krishna comes in this world for us again and again. So, in Krishna Lila also, um, as we were discussing previously, I mentioned this, that this connection of Krishna with Varahadev and Krishna with Narasimhadev also. As baby Gopal, he would come home very dirty, completely dripping with cow dung and cow urine and fresh mud and dry mud and cow urine all over his body. And only his eyes are seen. So Mother Yashoda would ask him that, were you a pig in your past life? Krishna, tvam sukarosi gata janmani. Pankhabhishikta sakalabayabam vilokya damodaram vadati kopavashad Yashoda. Yashoda in anger used to ask Damodar, ये क्या रूप बना के आए हो? What is this? I dress you so well, I put chandan and I decorate you with ornaments and nice peacock feathers and nice flowers, and you go deep into the forest and throw all of that, and you come home like this. You come like a ball of cow dung and cow urine. Tom Sukarosi Gata Janmani, were you a pig in your past life? And Krishna starts smiling. Yes, yes, dear mother, I was Varahadev in my past life. I was Varahadev in my past life. And Mother Yashoda, of course, would not believe it. Just on the level of Prema Bhakti, Janayityasu Vairagyam Jnanam Yacha Haitukam Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. Wherever there is devotion, automatically Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita, the transcendental wisdom will come on the tongue, because Saraswati Devi also serves Bhakti Marg. So Mother Yashoda is speaking out of great love and attachment for Krishna, and naturally all the conclusion of the Vedas are on her tongue because Saraswati Devi is residing there. And sometimes Krishna would run around with a lion mask. After hearing the pastime of Narasimhadev, he will put on a lion mask and run behind these cows, and the cows get scared thinking that it's a lion, and the calves are running. Some drama goes on in Braj Mandal, and then finally he has to take the mask and play the flute and get all the calves back. And sometimes baby Gopal would put lion masks on the face of calves. So the calves are running around, and other calves are scared of this calf because this calf has a lion face. And so many So many things. Krishna would make all these different animal masks and put it on the face of different cows and calves, and so much fun. So, therefore, all the avatars live in the body of Avatari, Sri Krishna. Therefore, when you worship Narasimhadev or you worship Varahadev, we always worship Krishna as Narasimha. We worship Krishna as Varaha. Nothing wrong in worshipping the Dashavatar. Jayadev Goswami himself wrote the Dashavatar Stotra. But throughout the Dashavatar, one thing is common, Keshavadhrita. Krishna became. So that mode should be there. When you see Narasimhadev also, this is my Krishna. This is Krishna of Vrindavan who has become Narasimhadev to protect his devotees in this mood. Then text 42 onwards, desiring to kill his son Prahlad, who was a great devotee of the Lord, Hiranyakashipu tortured him in many ways. The Lord, the super soul of all living entities, is sober, peaceful, and equal to everyone. Since the great devotee Prahlad was protected by the Lord's potency, Hiranyakashipu was unable to kill him in spite of endeavoring to do so in various ways. So Narad Muni is speaking about his own disciple. Narad Muni is speaking about his own disciple, Prahlad Maharaj. Because from Shishupal started the story of Jaya and Vijay, and from Jaya and Vijay started the story of Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. And then Hiranyakashipu, little introduction is given that he tortured his son. And now in no time, as Narad Muni is saying this, Yudhishthir Maharaj will say, who is this Prahlad? And why was he tortured by his own father? And how is it that he was born in a demoniac family and he became such a great devotee of Vishnu? And that's the start of the seventh canto. So Narasimha Avatar starts from there. One story inside the other, inside the other. So text 44. Thereafter, the same Jaya and Vijay, the two doorkeepers of Lord Vishnu, took birth as Ravana and Kumbhakarna, begotten by Vishrava in the womb of Keshini. They were extremely troublesome to the people of the universe. Narad Muni continued, my dear king, just to relieve Jaya and Vijay of the Brahmana's curse, Lord Ramachandra appeared in order to kill Ravana and Kumbhakarna. It will be better for you to hear narrations about Lord Ram's activities from Markandeya Muni, because Markandeya Muni is a Rama Bhakta. So Narad Muni is saying that instead of me speaking Ram Leela, you should go to Markandeya Muni and ask him. He will speak with lot of affection. He touches the heart of one and all. And then text 46. In their third birth, the same Jaya and Vijay appeared in the family of Kshatriyas as your cousins, the sons of your aunt, because Lord Krishna has struck them with his disc. All their sinful reactions have been destroyed and now they are free from the curse. The two associates of Lord Vishnu, Jaya and Vijay, maintaining a feeling of enmity for a very long time. They maintained a feeling of enmity for a very long time. Because of always thinking of Krishna in this way, they regained the shelter of the Lord, having returned home back to Godhead. So Narad Muni kind of concludes the episode of Shishupal there. But Yudhishthira Maharaj, he is not satisfied just hearing an overview. You cannot you cannot give him a synopsis, a chapter overview. And same with any listener of Srimad Bhagavatam. Brahman Krishna Katha Punya Madhvi Lok Malapaha. Konu Tripyeta Shunvana Shutanya Nitya Nutana. Who is that person who, after getting some taste for Krishna Katha, can stop speaking or can stop listening? We want more. We really want to speak more. We want to hear more. We want to remember more. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj is also like that. And Yudhishthir Maharaj is also like that, teaching us that when we hear Krishna Katha, we should not keep looking at the wall clock. ये खत्म कब होगा ये प्रभु जी और कितना बोलेंगे how long will this Prabhu ji speak? We should not think like that. We should think that everything else can stop. I have attained human form. Karoti karnaramyani manojnani chana prabho. I have received ears and heart so that I can fill Krishna Katha in my ear holes. And I can hear Krishna Katha with all my heart. This should be the purpose of our life. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad, in one work in the Mangalacharan, he writes something phenomenal. He says, Madasya Maru संचार खिन्नम गाम गोकुलोन्मुखीम संतः पुष्णन्तु इमाम स्निग्धा कर्ण कासर सन्निधौ. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad writes that it's a phenomenal display of humility, phenomenal display of taste, phenomenal display of poetic brilliance. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad says he plays with the word ga. Ga means gi means words also. It all ga also means cows. So there's a pun there, double play. He says, "My mouth is like a desert, right? And my words have been in this desert moving for a long time and they're exhausted and tired. So my words are moving like cows in the desert of my mouth because we speak so many things. So he says that my words are like cows and they're very tired moving in the desert of my mouth where there is no rasa. But now that we have started speaking about Krishna, these cows are heading towards Gokul Onmukhim, towards Vrindavan. So Kaviraj Goswami starts a work and in the Mangalacharan he says, my words are like cows and they are going towards Vrindavan because he's writing about Vrindavan. But they have been tired in the desert of my mouth without any rasa for a long time. Therefore, my request to the sadhus is please drown these cows in the water pool of your ears. What that means is these cows, just first of all, let's imagine cows moving through desert. They become very tired and they're on their way to Vrindavan. So they're distressed and tired walking through a desert. So now if you want to do something good to that cow, what should you do? You feed a lot of water and give them pools to bathe in. So Kaviraj Goswami uses that analogy and he says, my words are like cows and they have been in the desert of my mouth for a long time, but now they have started pointing towards Vrindavan. And because they are exhausted, oh sadhus, please dip these cows, feed these cows water pools in the form of the holes of your ears, which means what I'm about to say, you please hear them. Enter these cow like words into the water pool of your ears. Karana kasara sannidho. So, how poetic is that? How poetic is that? And how amazing is that? Yet at the same time, so humble. He says, because my mouth is like a desert. But at the same time, he says these words are cows pointing towards Brindavan because I'm describing Brindavan. So we must have tastes like this to constantly speak about Krishna, constantly hear about Krishna, and let the cows of words glorifying Krishna into the ear holes, which are like water pools. Parikshit Maharaj is like that. He's always hearing and he wants to hear more. Sometimes Shukdev Goswami will speak about a Leela very quickly. And Parikshit Maharaj will say, no, no, no. I want to hear with details. Imagine somebody who has only 2 days to live. They may not be so interested. ठीक है आप सुनाइए वैसे ही हमें जाना है. Somebody may think like that. How does it matter अभी पूतना है कि बकासुर है कि कालिया है हमारे सिर पे तो केवल तक्षक है. Somebody may think like that. How does it matter which pastime you speak about? I am simply thinking of my death. But Parikshit Maharaj is not at all thinking about his departure. पुनश्च भूयाद भगवत्यनन्ते रतिप्रसंग तदाश्रयेषु महत्सु याम याम उपयामि सृष्टिम मैत्रिस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः. He is only praying, may I hear Krishna Katha in the association of devotees. May I have love for Krishna. That's all that I want. So even when the pastime of Kaliya, Shukdev Goswami says in one verse. Can you believe? Whole Kaliya pastime Shukdev Goswami says in one verse. Because there are so many other Leelas he wants to speak about. Time is so short. Sometimes it does happen, right? When time is too short and the temple starts giving hints to the speaker. Band karo. Oh, now Abhishek is about to start. Use. So the speaker has to say so many things so quickly. So Shukdev Goswami gives an overview of Kaliya's pastime in one verse, and Parikshit Maharaj says, no, no, please give me details. How did that Kaliya enter Yamuna? And how is it that all this happened? And um, then the whole story of Shaubari Muni and everything comes up. So similarly here in text 48, Yudhishthir Maharaj heard in the movement of the breeze about Prahlad and torture and Hiranyakashipu and bhakti. I said, no, no, wait, wait. I want to have a discussion. I want to ask you a question. And therefore, in text 48, Sri Yudhishthira Uvacha, विद्वेषो दयिते पुत्रे कथम आसीत् महात्मनि ब्रूहि मे भगवन् येन प्रह्लादस्याच्युतात्मता. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired, O my lord Narad Muni, why was there such enmity between Hiranyakashipu and his beloved son Prahlad Maharaj? How did Prahlad Maharaj become such a great devotee of Lord Krishna? Achyuta. Kindly explain this to me. Purport. All the devotees of Lord Krishna are called Achyutatma because they follow in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj. Achyuta refers to the infallible Lord Vishnu, whose heart is always infallible. Because the devotees are attached to the infallible, they are also called Achyutatma. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 7th canto, 1st chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Supreme Lord is Equal to Everyone. So, this is the start of the pastime. So, next session onwards, we'll start chapter 2, which starts off with the pastime of Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj, and ultimately the appearance of Narasimhadev. So we'll pause here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Brinda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Shishi Radha Shamasundar ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Jai Jai Sri Radhe Sham. Jai Ho, Jai Ho.